Let me show you how to do a long tail cast on. This is a cast on that usually has a little bit more stretch to it than a normal cast on, so it can often be good to use at the bottom of ribbing for a cuff or a waistband. So to do a long tail cast on, first you need to leave the long tail. So you're going to need to leave a long enough tail so that you have enough yarn to seam up if you want to seam up at the end of your project, and to knit on, to cast on the stitches that you need. So you'll have to just judge how much you need. Sometimes I've had to repeat it because I will get in there and I won't have left enough. So once you've decided how much of a tail to leave on the yarn, you're going to take in your left hand the end of the yarn that is the tail, and you're going to create a V with your fingers. You're going to hold the end of the yarn between your thumb and your ring finger. You're going to create a loop with your index finger and your middle finger. So you're going to wrap the loop around the yarn around those two fingers to essentially create a loop. You're going to take your right hand needle. You're going to put it into the middle of that loop, so underneath that loop up through your two fingers. You're then going to take the yarn in your right hand, wrap it behind just as if you were going to do a knit stitch. You're going to take this loop that you put the needle through, you're going to release it over the top of the needle, and you're going to have your first kind of half hitch cast on stitch. So now we're going to basically just keep repeating that motion. So we've created the loop around your index and your middle finger. You're holding it between your thumb and your ring finger. You're going to flip your fingers over. You're going to take your needle. You're going to insert it from the bottom up through the middle of that loop. You're going to take your right hand, wrap it behind the needle. You're going to then take the loop that's still sitting on the needle and pull it up and over, release it up and over and off of your fingers, and you're going to then use your left hand to pull that tight. So you've just cast on another stitch. So again, V, you're making a loop around the V, you're holding it between your thumb and your ring finger, you're flipping over your two fingers, you're putting the needle in that loop, using your right hand to wrap the yarn behind, taking the loop that's over your index and middle finger and releasing it over the needle and then pulling it tight. Now you don't want to pull it too tight. You want to leave it loose enough that the stitches can easily move on the needle. So to just keep doing it, you're wrapping the yarn behind, you're lifting the loop up and over and leaving it and taking your fingers out. You're going to pull the loop snugly. You're creating that loop. You're putting the needle in the loop. In the middle of the loop, you're wrapping the yarn behind, in your right hand behind, releasing the loop up and over. So you're really just going to keep doing this for as many stitches as you need. And what you'll be able to see as you get enough stitches cast on is that this is what the cast on edge will look like. And you can see it looks like a braid, and it's got a bit of bounce to it. So it stretches a bit more than a normal knitted cast on. And that's how you do a long tail cast on.